love you.
At Compton Gardens, we visited our old friends, the bears. The new bike path and walking trail took us past a lot of new construction. There was a new bridge. Crystal Bridges takes its name from a natural spring on the museum's wooded site. Large areas had been newly planted with native plants and wildflowers. Alice Walton envisioned Crystal Bridges as a premier national art institution. The innovative design of Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, with its unique glass and wood buildings, was created by world-renowned architect Moshe Safdie. The museum's main pavilions will house a permanent collection of American art masterworks from the colonial era to modern day, and touring collections from national art institutions. The trail took us to a viewing platform where we could see the entire construction site. The bumps in the concrete are actually soil nails, which are rods that go back into the embankment to hold it. There were at least 4 huge cranes. 2 seemed to be permanently mounted, while 2 other ones were movable. This little boy was much more interested in a caterpillar he found than in the construction. We went to Janet's house and enjoyed a really fantastic lunch. We enjoyed seeing their abstract expressionist artwork and the article that Janet's husband Chris had written about Andrew Wyeth. The exhibit featured photographs taken by Harry Miller between 1900 and 1910, documenting Northwest Arkansas. They were interesting because of the clothes and the buildings, but what brought it to life was a talk by a woman historian whose enthusiasm was contagious. After a yummy lunch at Roubaix, we went on to the Art Center of the Ozarks for an exhibit that featured 2 artists, Rob Andes and Golsa. We peeked into the theater where they were working on scenery, and upstairs, a photographer took our picture and it appeared in the newspaper. The scenic drive to Eureka Springs and the town itself are as picturesque as these old postcards show. Our first stop was Studio 64, where the artist showed us her work and told us about some of her techniques using metallic paints. We went to the Transit Center, and after a short wait, we boarded the trolley to downtown Eureka Springs. We went to the Basin Park Hotel, and after a tour of a clever restaurant inside a cave, we opted to eat on the balcony. We enjoyed the food, the views, and the music on the balcony before heading on down to the street to check out the stores and galleries. There were a lot of bikers because of the bike rally in Fayetteville, and we didn't appreciate all the noise. We enjoyed looking at the jewelry in one of the stores, and I bought this bone mermaid. This gallery billed itself as the largest in the area, and it had a wide variety of different types of art by many different artists. Some of the store names, the products, and Maryland kept us entertained while we waited for the trolley. We rode the trolley through picturesque Victorian neighborhoods and arrived at the Crescent Hotel. After picking up the car at the transit center, we drove to a scenic overlook where two bikers were waiting for the minister who was going to perform their wedding ceremony. Hidden away in the woods on the side of a large hill was the studio of Larry Mansker. What an interesting gentleman he was. His work was large and bold. The views from his studio were amazing, and he gave us a full tour of his home, including his bathroom and office. A little further down the same road, we found the studio of the Hirsches. It was full of strange and wonderful things, and the main focus was on musical instruments.
When you hear that definite note change, then you go to the next hole.
She was little. Yeah, she's old now. The Pakistanis do them in a copper base. Now obviously they work in materials that were around. And you can see again, it's just the softness in the wrist, softness in the fingers. There's no hard fingers, you know. The male culture is, you know, it's the whole body is in, yeah. So there's a frame drum.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, better than wham, wham, wham with a tambourine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our last stop was a charming little bistro on the highway. outside the gallery were pieces of art from the university's collection and also works by students. The gallery director, a great guy named Charles Peer, gave us a tour of the art department. Charles showed us this painting by Makoto Fujimura, and he explained that it was done with silver leaf and ground lapis and seashells rather than paint. Charles gave us a preview of the next show from Hallmark, which hadn't been unpacked yet. Then he gave us a tour of the chapel. It was a beautiful day, and the grounds of the university looked really pretty. We drove on into Siloam Springs and went to a farmer's market. Then we went to the English tea room.
I search for phrases to sing your praises, but there aren't any magic adjectives to tell you all you are. You're just too marvelous for words, like glorious, glamorous, and that old standby amorous. It's all too wonderful, I'll never find the words.
After a pizza dinner at Janet and Chris's house, we drove and then walked in the rain to get to the Scape building at Crystal Bridges. Chris suggested that we climb up the stairs to the top of the structure and look at the oculus from above. So we did that. Then we went inside and sat on the bench seats around the circular walls and watched the changing light show and the effect it had on the color of the sky as seen through the opening. Marilyn had to try out the dead spot in the center of the room before we walked back to our cars. The show, 25 Ways to Make a Print, was very interesting. It featured a variety of works from Hallmark's permanent collection. In the corridor outside the gallery were assemblages of found materials prepared by the students. We hit the road and drove through Siloam Springs and enjoyed the fall color. Then we made a shopping stop at Oops. We celebrated Marilyn's birthday at Jose's Mexican restaurant. This unusual exhibit features 5x5 canvases and sculptures that are donated by over 300 artists and auctioned off for the benefit of the Art Center of the Ozarks. There was an unusually phallic sign in this painting of Eureka Springs. It was only a short drive to Ella's restaurant at the Inn at Carnal Hall on the campus of the University of Arkansas. We celebrated Janet's birthday. She and Marilyn had the Indian buffet, while Kathy had a Reuben sandwich and I had a yummy salad. We all enjoyed the fried bananas, which were a complimentary surprise from our waiter. This was a juried show of the Ozark Pastel Society. We did not agree with the judges' choices for some of the awards, but others were okay. We especially liked the paintings of Charles Peer and figured out later that he was our friend from John Brown University.